A bunch of Nazis are angry about a goddess in the Percy Jackson Disney adaptation of the books. First of all, I'm really sorry. I tried reading some of the Percy Jackson books, and they're like insufferable. Oh my god, I have nothing but negative memories. In my mind, I'm reconstructing it, and it's all like, what if like Marvel, but you think you're smarter than the other kids in 8th grade? So it's about the Greek gods, you know? Like, it's literally like isekai, Hogwarts, Marvel tier shit, except, you know, that. Who cares? Gods don't even have genes. No, you don't understand, okay? Gods definitely have melanin, all right? The gods that, like, I don't know, pull the sun across the sky with chariots have melanin. That's like a biological thing they have. It was the first fanfic I ever read, yeah. Hello. Hello, Artemy. Yes, Percy Jackson is better than Harry Potter. Anyway, a bunch of people are mad as hell about this, which is dumb. I mean, leaving aside the fact that it's a fictitious universe and also they're gods, so biology isn't real and blah, blah, blah. The ancient Greeks knew the world was a big place, and they had met Africans. Like, Greece is right next to North Africa, you know? They knew black people existed, and they thought their gods were the gods of the entire world. Why would gods of the entire world be limited? It's not like... I said this on Twitter, but, you know, the Greek gods weren't like D&D patron gods, where they thought like their pantheon was like the pantheon of their people, specifically their ethnic group, but then like the next door ethnic group had their own gods that were totally different. Like, you know, their gods, like Hades did not control the underworld only for Greek people. They might have actually thought that. No, no, they didn't. Because what's the point in believing a pantheon of in a pantheon of gods who have universal powers if their universal powers are conditional to your ethnic group? You know what I mean? Not true in the Percy Jackson universe. They also have the Roman gods. I'm talking about the actual Greek universe, not the Percy Jackson universe. The reason the Percy Jackson universe also has the Roman gods is because Percy Jackson is ripping off of Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman did this fine, and since then it's all been downhill. What if every pantheon of gods was real? Shut up, choose one. Fuck you, okay? Fuck off. I've read American Gods. I read all of Sandman. Okay, get out of here. They usually believed other cultures called the same gods by different epithets, if I remember. Yeah, like the Greeks, you know, have their god of war. And if they met another culture that had a god of war, they wouldn't think like, oh, that's a different god of war. They would think, oh, they just worship Ares, but by a different name, you know? They wouldn't like didn't we learn about this with the Aztecs where like where the way pantheists treat gods very different, you know? Because they thought, like, again, Hades controlled the underworld for everyone, you know? Like, who's the dude who pulls the sun across the sky with chariots in the Greek pantheon? They didn't think like, oh, every society, Helios, yeah, every ethnic group has their own guy who pulls the sun across the sky, you know? The sun only moves like this for us because we're Greek, but actually, like, if you're 100 miles east of us, then, you know, a different dude pulls it. Yeah, it's just like 1,000 gods all pulling the sun together. No, they, you know, every person who believes in a god tends to think their gods are pretty, like... If your god like believes universal powers, you know, no, the Greeks constantly fought over what god they were not at all homogeneous. I'm not saying the Greeks were homogeneous. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the statement that I'm making. I'm saying that they thought their gods had universal power. They weren't like, okay, a good example of this would be like, it's not like Shintoism would be the other thing, right? Where like if you think there's a great dragon that protects your river, that dragon protects that river. Like if you went to a different river, there'd be a different water spirit. You know what I mean? There's like a regional element to that. Whereas for the Greeks, Hades controlled the underworld, which and the Greeks knew that the planet was a big place. You know, the ancient Greeks knew the planet was big and round, and they'd only seen a little bit of it. So the idea that the Greeks, in all their wisdom, might have thought, you know, I wonder if it's possible that not all the gods in Olympus are literally pasty white. Or why am I saying pasty white? They were ancient Greek. We all know they were olive skinned. Why? Like, what? Oh, hold on. I'm taking this from the entirely wrong angle. Our default mental image of the Greek gods is of white people. They weren't fucking white. It was ancient Greece. What they did this with the fucking Spartans as well. There's no fucking way. They're right there. So we're like, you made one of the gods black. Bro, you made the other 50 gods white. There were black Romans in Italy, dude. Yeah, like Moors, Northern Africans, right? They came up from Spain. They came up from what's now Turkey. You know, like, yeah, people move around. Native Greeks are still white. First of all, okay, even in modern day Greece, white, a little bit of a stretch sometimes, okay? Second of all, the ethnic composition of the area has changed over time. You know, that happens. Don't we have like genetic studies on that, like the way people move and stuff? It's like how if you go watch all of those cheesy movies in like set in Egypt, like everyone in Egypt was like white. I mean, I know the Romans went down there, but like the Egyptians were white. They would show this is why the Prince of Egypt is so good. It's not because of the incredible writing or the wonderful, like, you know, songs or the imaginative animation or whatever. It's just because they showed these motherfuckers as swarthy as they probably were, you know? I love how they depicted the Pharaoh as the huntiest guy in the universe. Look at this guy. Jesus Christ. Some like RuPaul shit. It's just Christian propaganda with budget. Well, it's the Old Testament, so wouldn't it be like Jewish propaganda? I don't really think it's propaganda. I think they're taking like a historical story and they're doing it, you know? Don't say that? Wait, why don't say that? It's Moses. It's just mythology, Lamau. A historical, like, it's been mythology for thousands of years. Yes. Also, it's semi-historical, right? Don't we think... Did Moses actually exist? Something happened. I know that a lot of the story of the flight of the Israelites from Egypt has been, like, perverted by time, but something happened. I don't know. Something happened. Let me turn the faucet off 1 second. Can we agree, if nothing else, that Egypt existed? No? Egypt is a lie? Okay, it's true. I've never been there. Damn, sure does suck that Egypt was, like, the center of the world for a time, and now it's just some stupid military dictatorship. I just really don't like it when Christian media portrays the gods of other cultures as fake when the only evidence they have for their god's power is a magic trick. Actually, not gonna lie, I really like that. I would have enjoyed the movie a lot less if the Egyptians were shown to have their own, like, divine power. The fact that they weren't, it's so fun. It's like Giga Chad shit, you know what I mean? Like, the movie takes its own premise and walks with it. It's not like, you know, this is like a fantasy reimagining of the events or whatever. It's like, no, this is what happened, okay? Moses turned his staff into a snake, and it devoured the other two trick snakes that had been brought to bear, okay? He brought down the plagues upon Egypt, all right? That's what happened, actually. That was all real. I love that shit. Love it. Y'all are just cucked, man. I mean, the story wouldn't really work if the Egyptians also had a god, right? Like, God revealed himself unto Moses, the one true God. It's not polytheistic, right? You know, there can't be other gods. They had gods, yeah, fake ones. The original text of that portion of the Bible actually implies the Egyptian gods were real but weak. No wonder they revised that. That's literally like anti-monotheistic. What? So what is the implication then that, like, other gods existed, but then, like, what's his name? What's the god's name? Yahweh. Yeah, Yahweh. That like Yahweh stomped them out. I guess that would kind of make sense to an extent, right? Like, because there are other entities. Would they be like demons then? Right? Because ancient Egypt would have been after the flood. Like, Moses would have been after Noah. So what could you say then? Like, the petty gods of other cultures would have been like devils offering their power or something? Like, and then the real god, like, stamps it out? No, they're not demons. They don't consider them demons, just straight up lesser gods. Well, that doesn't make any sense. How do you work with that? What other gods? They can't be gods. It's a monotheistic religion. So what would the other gods be? They would be they can't be gods. They'd have to be, I don't know, something. I don't know what the term would be. You've got angels and devils. I don't know what other. It wasn't monotheistic till later. So but Judaism is monotheistic. I guess it's just like a revision thing. Like they knocked that out. Man, they should have kept that, dude. Dude, if you're going to revise the Old Testament, there is so much evil shit that God did that you could have gotten rid of. Why not keep in him beating the out of lesser gods, you know? Like, I don't know, like you have a bunch of like pantheistic, you know, like lesser regional gods that Yahweh shows up and curb stomps because he's the one. Do they have power in the afterlife? Probably not, right? Like they're not even. That's what the snake fight was? No, in the Prince of Egypt, the snake fight, the other two snakes are trick snakes. They had them in their pocket or something. They don't have any magic power. The acolytes of the Pharaoh. That was the whole verse of "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." I thought that was just saying you should worship no other god, not that there were literally other gods. Okay, all right. I'll have to read up on that. That's interesting. It's kind of wacky. High priest, not acolytes, yeah. Yeah, pocket snakes, exactly. What the f is this conversation? Don't worry about it. How do you feel about the idea of monotheism encouraging obedience to authority more? My literal only opinion on monotheism is that it's boring. That's it. Abrahamic religion, it's the most boring shit in the universe. Yeah, there's one God, he's everywhere and everything, and he's all powerful, and he knows everything, and everything, and everything, and everything, and everything, and nothing interesting ever happens, and all the cool shit happened thousands of years ago, and that's it. You know? Boring, incredibly boring. That's it. That's my only opinion. In terms of like morals or what's more like harmful, I don't know. I don't care really. Very boring. Can you imagine somebody making the game Hades, except it's based on like the Abrahamic God or whatever? Yeah, you can't. You can't, can you? You can't be thirsting after all these hot Greek gods, because there wouldn't be. There'd just be one blob of light. Gay. And you can't even thirst after the angels. Do you think angels can? No, they can't. You think angels eat pussy? Now, if you think angels eat pussy, you're coping and you've watched too much porn. Those motherfuckers do not eat bush, okay? No way. No shot. The only one who did was Lucifer, and that's why they sent him down. Fallen angels definitely fall. Oh, yeah, sure, fallen angels, so go to hell, you know? Fallen angels aren't really angels anymore, you know? Joy from Bayonetta, you are wrong, shit take. Ah, yes, the biblical text Bayonetta, yeah. The guy who wrote Paradise Lost really wants to f Satan. Everyone wants to f Satan. Look at, like, any... This is how you can tell. You know how people today say, like, the LGBTQ community is demonic because they fashion themselves as devils, and they're always talking about that they want the devil to see. Go look at any art of Lucifer from, like, 500 years ago. Even when those motherfuckers were at risk of being, like, hanged to death for heresy, they were still painting him, you know? Like, Jesus Christ. What's that one painting, Lucifer's Lament? There are so many paintings of Lucifer where, okay, so all artists throughout history have been gay. Art students, always gay. So they're like, hey, I'm going to draw a divine, historical, Catholic Church, please don't kill me painting. Please don't kill me, by the way. It's going to be of Lucifer, and it's going to show how sad he is that he betrayed God. Pay no attention to how flawless I'm painting him, you know? They said he was the most beautiful and most charismatic and most powerful, the first of all the angels, and also he was hot and had hot hair, and he looked sad, and he looked kissable, you know, all the time. Nothing has changed. Sexy Lucifer statue replaced by even sexier Lucifer statue. Why do I remember this? Oh yeah, literally, dude. I remember this. This one was asked to be replaced because it was too, like, temptuous or whatever. So then they made this one. It's like Challenge Impossible. Artist, paint or sculpt or draw Lucifer in a not hot way. And they can't do it. They can't do it. They can't do it. Hey, by the way, quick question. The goat demon thing, the one that always gets, like, associated with demonic cults, that's Baphomet, right? Okay, who is Baphomet? Just another fallen angel, or are they a devil? Where'd they start out? Yes to what? Hebrew demon? Well, Christians invoke him. I mean, there's a lot of Jewish demon. I feel like the Jews have cooler lore. Because like Christianity is very said and done for. And then every once in a while I hear shit about like Jewish sorcery, not like anti-Semitism JQ shit, but like in their books or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, did you know that 2,000 years ago some guy called like Jewish McGuy, Israel McDude, was a wizard? And it's like, wait, what? You have wizards? I don't think there are wizards in Christianity. I think we just have like priests and stuff. And being a priest in Christianity is incredibly cucked, by the way. It's literally like, if you dedicate your entire life to never coming, then maybe a kid who you think is kind of cool in your village won't die of cancer. Like, cool, thanks, you know? All the miracles are gone. That all happened before cameras were invented, you know? But with the Judaism shit, it's like, nah, damn, there was a fucking wizard, dude. He summoned golems, and it was really cool. Look up Lilith. Well, I know Lilith. Yeah, the first, yeah. The Lilith thing is also Jewish lore, and she's hot. Baphomet is a demon that the Inquisition made up to purge the Knights Templar. The name is a corruption of Muhammad, so they were supposedly talking about Islam. Really? But I thought it was a Jewish thing. It first came into popular usage in the 19th century? Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, that is way more recent than I thought. Okay, I thought there was more of a... Maybe it's like drawing on inspiration from earlier Jewish stuff? 19th century, goddamn. Okay. Would you do it with a biblically accurate angel, though? Wouldn't that kill you? Rasputin was a kind of Christian wizard. Yeah, but even then it was just faith healing. Faith healing is gay as... What is the point of power if it comes through channeling a god? This is my question to D&D players who play clerics and paladins. What is the point? Well, I guess paladins have their own power. They channel sometimes, but they do have their inner well of power. Clerics always channel. And warlocks. What the is the point of all that power if you're just asking for it, okay? Become a Jewish wizard. Become a Jewish wizard.